Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Force. This is David Cottingham, and of course, with me as always, Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody. Of course I'm here.
Of course. This is episode 51. We are diving still deep into episode 2, as well as reviewing the latest and last season of The Clone Wars. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. A 2-part episode this time called The Disappeared, Part 1 and Part 2. We will get into that, kind of what our thoughts of those episodes. Get you updated on some news and get Casey upset on some trivia again.
Oh, probably. I was just thinking that too. Like, I really hope it's something that I know that he doesn't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see.
We will see.
Okay, so the tie, we couldn't really figure out how to tie in episode 2 and Clone Wars. That's what we've kind of been doing this past couple of weeks. With Profine Camino.
Yeah.
Last week we did, forgive me, help me out, Case.
Last week?
Yeah. This is the fourth week, but the first week we didn't do a profile because we had Tom Kane on.
Then Camino.
We did Camino, and then last week was the...
it was so long ago.
God, why do I keep forgetting? Just simple stuff like that. I got it right here. If my iPad works.
We profiled...
Oh, it was Sand Hill.
Yeah.
It was the banking clan.
About to say that. Yeah, about to say that.
Okay.
Because we profiled the Clovis stuff.
Correct.
So banking clan.
Banking clan, Sand Hill.
Yeah.
So this week, we didn't have a really good connection. We had already done Mace Windu, who is prominent in the episodes. I'm not really going to profile Jar Jar right now. So, and I think we were thinking about doing obviously like one of the Night Sisters, that's in there, Mother Talzin, but she's not in episode 2, so we have to tie it back to episode 2. So we're just going to divert to a character in episode 2. One that I find very interesting. We are going to highlight and profile Jedi Jocasta Nu. And if you obviously have seen the prequels, she makes her one and only appearance in the movies in episode 2.
Right.
She is featured. She has been in episodes of the Clone Wars, and you said she was in the game, episode 3 game.
Right, yeah.
So she's a very prominent, important person of the Jedi Academy, or the Jedi Council. No, she's not on the council, actually. Well, the Jedi.
Yeah.
But she is mainly known as the Chief Librarian of the Jedi Archives. If you remember the scene in episode 2, that's when Obi-Wan goes to her about finding a missing planet Camino in search of the bounty hunter that left the saber dart in the changeling that that him and Anakin found. So he goes and talks to Jocasta Nu. So that is who we're going to talk about right now. She was actually born on Coruscant.
Right.
Doesn't really give an age, so not really sure when she was born. She is very old.
Yeah.
She's like Yoda old. No. But of course, as always, as what we've come to know about the Jedi, that she was basically gathered up right at infancy, as being Force sensitive, brought to the Council for training. She was raised in a youngling clan and passed their trials, and was eventually selected by a master for one-on-one training. came through and passed the Jedi trials and became a Jedi. Now, when she became a Jedi, interesting enough, that's why I think it was good to talk about her. She actually pursued what it says as the path of a counselor, which you were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Actually, what that is. A consular Jedi.
Jedi consular. Basically, when you're a Jedi, you can choose to kind of... There are different types of Jedis, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what to call it. But basically, I mean, if you're fans of the...
Well, I guess it's similar to different types of law enforcement,
Correct.
probably.
Yeah. And if you've played the Knights of the Old Republic games, you know all about this, because when you create your character in those games, they ask, do you want to try to become a Jedi Consular, or a Jedi Guardian, or a Jedi Sentinel?
Oh, wow.
So there's not much difference, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, in the gameplay, there's not much difference in that. But there's just 3 different types, like you said, like branches within the Jedi in a way, or a Jedi Consular is more into the, I guess, the studies, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
A Jedi Sentinel is the, I guess, the more of the forceful, more proactive, not warrior-like. And Guardian is more keeper of the peace, going out there keeping.
All right.
There's just there's 3 different versions of it. Whatever, 3 different ways you can go about studying to be a Jedi.
Hey, there's a Guardians of the Peace card.
There you go. And so that's basically what Jocasta was. She was a consular, so she was more focused on studies and the quiet life of a Jedi.
And basically, and by doing that, became a researcher, which and specialized in the field of archaeology. That's why she was part of different groups, which you'll get into. But she basically traveled around the galaxy and gathered all this information, constantly gathering and built and helped build and keep up the Jedi Archives. Now, and the Jedi Archives, and it's exactly what it portrays in Episode 2, is that basically it is a hall of information, of planets, species, everything that's basically in the galaxy is in the Jedi Archive. So, and she was also known to be very involved in the missions and the problems that happened, even though she was on the council at one point, but even though she wasn't on there all the time, she was always kept up to speed on what was going on, simply because if they needed information about certain planets or species, she was the one that always kind of broke that information to them.
So she probably wrote down the report of Mace Windu and Jar Jar going to Bar Dada and the Clone Wars. So it relates.
Probably. It does.
She wrote down a report of their stuff.
Probably. She probably filled them in on the planet.
Yeah.
So she was attached to what was called the Exploration Corps. Now what exactly is the Exploration Corps?
It's funny because a lot of these, I don't want to compare it to Star Trek, but it's like, Starfleet. They have a lot of different parts of Starfleet, whereas you also have a lot of different corps of the Jedi. Now there's the Jedi Service Corps, which is comprised of these different little branches, such as Exploration Corps, or the Explorer Corps, which is what Jocasta is a part of. You have the Agricultural Corps, the Medical Corps, Educational Corps, and so you have these 4 different corps, these 4 branches. And Jedis, once they pass their trials, they can volunteer to be a part of one of these corps. They haven't passed their trials, and they go to the Council of Reassignment, where they kind of place you based on your skills and such. So it's I don't know, it's interesting because we'll have to profile the Jedi more, specifically the Jedi and like the Jedi Academy, because their process and their the way they select Jedi and train them, and the whole process of the trials is very interesting. They're very much like a Peace Corps, and very much like actually an academy, where it's just a crazy intense organization that we need to learn more about.
Yes.
But yes, the Explorer Corps, they're mainly assigned to just go out and uncover ancient civilizations, find new civilizations, and just learn more about the galaxy. And then it's interesting why they need Jedi, just because, I guess, of their skills of the Force, so they can tap into those parts of civilizations that you can't with science, you can't with instruments. The Jedi can tap into the actual spirits of these civilizations and learn from it. So that's what Jocasta Nu did, pretty much, before she was in the library.
Yeah, because eventually she, and this was still kind of as it's just a Jedi Knight. It wasn't until she actually, on one of her journeys, archiving the galaxy, she discovered Force-sensitive Mariluka Jarek, or is that two different people? And Jarek.
Yeah, Jarek is its own person.
And Jarek is someone she selected as her Padawan and trained him. And it's a him, I'm assuming, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think is there a card? No.
I think there might be one coming.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely an expanding universe person character. So once he eventually became a knight, then that's what actually propelled Jocasta Nu into becoming a Jedi Master, and that's when she actually started to become an archivist for the archive. So that's and then part of her responsibility, like you said, as Chief Librarian, was to the oversight of the Educational Corps, and then she reported directly to the Jedi Service Corps whenever there was missions and whatnot. So that's when she really started getting into helping with the archive stuff and the information. She was, as some point during her tenure as the Chief Librarian, she was appointed to the Jedi High Council, so she was one of the Jedi 12, serving about 10 years, but then she eventually stepped down around 52 BBY, so about 20 years before Episode 1. It kind of goes on to talk about just basically some personal tidbits about her, where she was very fond of Master Dooku, of Count Dooku, very good friends with him, traveled certain missions with him, one in particular. They went to Sereno, and we've actually talked about this when we profiled Darth Plagueis, I think. She actually met Higo Damask, who is Darth Plagueis, with Dooku, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Sifo Dyas.
Yeah.
And just a preview, that is who we are profiling next week is Sifo Dyas. We're going to get the bottom of this whole...
Rip the lid off of it.
Yes, this whole Sifo Dyas and Clone Wars order and all this stuff. Like, how could he do such a thing? So there were some interesting meetings that she's had with and run-ins with obviously the dark side that she didn't even really know about. So basically that brings us up into the Clone Wars, where she, again, just served as a librarian, served in providing information to certain worlds as worlds were getting attacked and war was engulfing the galaxy. There was a really, really good series of Clone Wars episodes. I think we determined it was at the end of episode 1, or season 1, called... Actually, it's the beginning of season 2.
Okay.
Holocron Heist. And it's an awesome episode with bounty hunters that were penetrating the Jedi Temple, trying to steal some Jedi holocrons. And Jocasta Nu is in those episodes. There's a good part where she's kind of explaining to Ahsoka the meaning of the archives and what the archives does. So there's some good assignments, good follow-ups with her in that, kind of expanding on her character a little bit there. But so again, she serves through the Clone Wars as the librarian and keeping the missions up to speed. Unfortunately, her time comes to an end in Episode 3 at the hands of Darth Vader.
You don't see it.
You do not see it.
That's what I was talking about. The video game in Episode 3 video game. You fight her as Vader and you kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I played that. I don't remember that part, but I think I played that game.
Yeah, you're in the archives. She's like flipping all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was hard.
And I want to say in the Clone Wars, I think she pulls her lightsaber out, and I think she fights a little bit.
I think so.
She has very much skill, even though she looks a little older. But
yeah,
Jedi, she's very strong. So that is basically Jocasta Nu. She is a very important part of the Jedi. Knows everything about the galaxy, and you know, it was interesting because she was so adamant about, you know, in that part in episode 2, she was so adamant about if it's not in the archives, it doesn't exist.
She's a little snooty about it.
She is a little snooty about it because she's so
in his face.
She's done so much research and so much traveling that there's no way, you know, what is put in the archive is put in the archives. Now, I guess it, you know, like obviously Yoda figured it out, but it's like, well, obviously if it's not there, someone might have deleted it.
Yeah.
But see, the thought doesn't cross her mind that because the only people that have access are Jedis.
Yeah, and why would they do that?
Why would they do that? You know, and what's always so cool is that if you really research like Dooku and all that stuff, you find out that, you know, not only did he delete Kamino, but he deleted numerous planets, one being Dagobah.
Yeah.
Which still kind of confuses me a little bit.
If it's canon,
canon,
correct. But it seemed like he just deleted a bunch of planets. Kamino mainly because of the cloning stuff.
Yeah,
but maybe they needed other.
Well,
planets.
and here's the thing: is it possible? Now, this is something maybe we might say for next week,
right?
I mean, is it possible he knew what was on Dagobah that could possibly help Yoda? You know what I mean, or a Jedi?
Yeah, there's something. Maybe there's
something. There is something there. Like, see, I think it's the perception of Episode 5 is that it's a planet with no civilizations. It's the perfect hiding spot. But I think, as we'll talk about more next week, it's the perfect spot to train a Jedi. I mean, it's you know, and we'll get to that, but it's Dagobah is turning into a more meaningful planet than you know what I mean, than just some swampy planet with some green guy who lives on it. I mean, it's very awesome, and we'll get into that series next week. But that is Jedi Master Jocasta Nu, very important part of the Jedi. Okay, so first up, let's talk about this new Clone Wars arc.
Okie day. Let's do that.
Nice tie-in.
Yeah.
So this is the third of 4 arcs that we've got out of these 13 episodes. This being only a 2-parter called The Disappeared, and it involves the 2 main characters, Mace Windu and Jar Jar Binks. So again, spoilers if you haven't watched it, but we'll get kind of a little detailed into what happens here. Bardoda, I think, is the planet that's kind of called assistance to, not the Jedi. They've actually called assistance to Jar Jar.
Yeah.
They personally requested Jar Jar. Jar Jar, obviously, Mace feels like he needs somebody to help.
Needs to go.
He can't go by himself.
Don't let Jar Jar do this by himself, please.
So he...
it's because of the importance of the planet.
Correct.
And these people. They're very tied to the Force in a different way than Jedi.
That is right.
It's very
Force-sensitive people.
Yeah.
Even though they're not Jedis.
Yeah.
And actually, they don't believe in that or something like that. It's like
they believe the Jedi can't be trusted.
Yeah.
I forgot necessarily the reason why, but it seems like they're more just meditative. They just sit in the Force and just meditate in the Force.
Right. They don't use it technically. Right. So they arrive at this planet and they get told by the council, the High Council there, that people are disappearing.
Right.
They're just vanishing. As they dig a little deeper, obviously they uncover what's happening, and basically what's happening is this underground cult is they're kidnapping these people. These are these creatures and these species, and sucking the life force, not their life, not their souls, the actual force
And I don't know if you mentioned it, but they're taking the council, whatever the leaders.
Yes,
of this
the council
planet,
leaders,
whatever,
right. And the queen, who's the head of this council, is the one that called Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Because she is in a romantic relationship.
She's into that.
She's into that. She's into that Gungan there. Good job, Jar Jar. Way to go.
It's like a weird science. It's like
a
very like 80s movie kind of thing. Like the geek gets the girl, whatever.
Correct. So very cool for Jar Jar. So they are taking the life, not the life. They're taking the force, basically the force part of these people out of them. They're not necessarily killing them. Are they dying? I don't think they're dying necessarily.
They do kill them. They dump them into the lava or something. No, is that right? No, I have to watch it again. I can't remember because we didn't really see a whole lot. They slide
down that thing and then they get taken.
I think it probably pretty much kills them.
They might kill them.
Well, they die at some point in this process of sacrificing. They take their life force, their force spirit or whatever,
right,
out of them. Well, because since the force binds all things and is the energy of life, I guess it pretty much does kill them. It's like taking their spirit away.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
their soul or whatever you want to call it.
And there's, we were just talking about it before we recorded, but there's some awesome fight sequences with Mace. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it looked like it was like a video game. Yeah, he was bouncing around and fighting these guys.
Also felt a lot like Indiana Jones. I was reading people saying the same thing. And it's like, yeah, it does. It looks like Temple of Doom. It's crazy.
Exactly. Like I totally thought of that. I was just waiting to pull a heart out of somebody.
Yeah. This has gotten way too dark.
Kaliba. So I just envisioned Short Round running around the corner.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Dr. Jones. I touched nothing.
Yeah. You're my best friend.
Oh my gosh. That's good stuff.
I love you. We were just talking about that for some reason the other day.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Oh, we were talking about that on Kookcast because
your movies when you grew up?
Temple of Doom was one of my top 5 movies watching growing up because I was so afraid of Raiders of the Lost Ark after I saw their faces melt.
Yeah, I would say so.
I didn't want to watch that. I wanted to watch Temple of Doom. I thought that was cool. Plus, I wanted to be Short Round.
Yeah.
So, did you know, by the way, just side note, did you know, by the way, the name of the club? Have I told you this?
Oh, Obi-Wan? Is it
Club Obi-Wan. Yeah. And for you guys that didn't know that, watch Temple of Doom, very beginning, when they go outside the club. It's called Club Obi-Wan. Yeah,
and actually, my buddy Adam, the suit that Harrison Ford wears, that white dinner jacket, that's what Adam wore to prom.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like that Humphrey Bogart look, and so Adam's like, I want to be Indiana Jones for prom.
That's awesome.
Yes, you are.
That is awesome.
Anyways. So they're sacrificing these people that take their force, and they're using the force to, they put it in some force sphere.
Some orb, a little orb thing. And it's not till part 2 that you discover what it's for. Mm-hmm. And be honest, I didn't see this coming at all.
Mm-hmm.
They are basically trying to, because you were pointing out that the Night Sisters are involved more in magic.
Yeah, it's some dark
magic kind of thing.
It's not force tied.
So there was a big arc in either, I think it's season 3, where we get to really see Dathomir and the Night Sisters, because a former Night Sister, Asajj Ventress, who basically gets thrown out of the whole training part of Dooku's. She's not worthy to be Dooku's apprentice anymore. She gets kind of cast out and sent back to Dathomir, where Mother Talzin kind of brings her up to be the leader of the Night Sisters again. So that was a really good arc with her, and you kind of understand Mother Townsend's and the Night Sisters' role. And basically their role is to the male Dathomirians are that's the species of Darth Maul.
Mm.
She is the one that kind of recruited Darth Maul for Dooku. Yeah. Or not Dooku, I'm sorry. For Sidious.
Oh, yeah.
And then she recruited his brother, Savage Opress.
Yeah, there's Zabraks.
There's Zabraks, yeah, that's right. To be Dooku's new, basically, assassin. So that's where the whole thing where she sends Savage Opress to find the body of Darth Maul, and that just made me think of something that I don't know if it'd be too much to talk about right now.
Oh, well, yeah.
Real quick, I think the question, a lot of people are questioning, and I hear this a lot, that this is a Darth Maul tangent. When he's cut in half, like everybody assumed, he was dead,
Yes.
right?
It felt safe to say.
It felt safe to say, right? But how much are you actually? Do you believe that he was able to come back?
Yeah, I mean,
or do you think that was kind of a sketchy explanation of how he's able to survive that?
Initially, yeah, I thought so, because he not only was he chopped in half, but he fell down a big garbage chute, I guess.
Right.
But it's something that I listened to a podcast with Sven Witwer explaining it, and the way he explains it makes sense, because you see Darth Vader get chopped up, or Anakin get chopped up into bits, and yet he survives. It's like how he was only a torso and a head and one arm, and he survived.
That's right.
He lost some stuff there. Although Maul lost probably some organs.
Yes.
But Joan Grievous lost a lot of organs. He lost more than Vader, and he survived his accident. Luke fell down a huge, like when he basically tried to kill himself at the end of episode 5. He survived that.
And see, that's how Maul could have actually got sucked like that way too.
Got sucked into something.
And then didn't actually land.
So, yes, it's believable. It's crazy it's just a crazy idea.
And you think about it too, like when you get cut by a lightsaber, it's not like getting cut by a knife.
Correct.
You're basically charred. And
you're cauterizing the wound as you're cutting it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was bleeding to death.
Yeah.
He was basically,
so probably lost a lung or so. And he's got the Force. And that's the whole point of the dark side users. They use the Force to hold on to life.
That's right.
That is their hope. They don't believe in afterlife. They literally use, because it said midichlorians you can use the midichlorians to create life. You can use midichlorians to hold on to life.
That's right.
That's probably how a lot of these
people.
And
that's how I could buy it. I mean, I definitely could buy the explanation. I think it's very reasonable, especially like you just pointed out. Especially if you can believe, I think the way he said it was, if you just watched 1, 2, and 3, would you actually and didn't see him become Vader at the end? Like if if Obi-Wan just walked away.
Yeah. And you're saying that 4, 5, and 6 is not made.
Correct.
These are the prequels are the only movies.
Yeah, and it's like, and then all of a sudden episode 4 gets made, and you're like, wait a minute, that guy survived?
Yeah.
But you can, if you showed the end of episode 3 at the beginning of episode 4, it'd be like, oh, okay, that's how. Well, it's the same, it is the same thing.
Yeah.
He survives, and I just think it's...
I mean, dealing with the Force... you could just chuck
they're very hard to kill.
Yeah.
They're very hard to kill. Jedis and Sith are just very hard to kill.
Yeah.
Anyway, rewind.
Turn around.
So, Mother Townsend is, at some point in season 5, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but at some point I don't think she gets killed, but she gets basically vanishes or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember she kind of disappears.
Yeah.
So that was the last we saw of her. She returns in this second part of the Disappeared because that is what they're gathering this Force for. The Night Sisters, I don't think they may be Force sensitive, but they're not using the Force in a sense more it's because Asajj Ventress is Force sensitive.
Yeah. I think there's,
but I don't know if that's all of them.
There's still some discrepancies there, I think.
I think so too.
But because I don't think they're able to use the Force, but they have some sort of magic, and not anybody can just like that. All the force they are gathering in that little orb, not anybody can use it. It seems like only Mother Talzin or like just people of the Night Sisters could use it. Maybe they can just have the ability. That's what she was wanting to do. She was trying to use it to become the more powerful than any Sith or Jedi, just to have power. And so that's why they're killing all those
killing these people.
And they even try to get it from Jar Jar, which is they made an interesting point saying everybody has a little bit of the Force in them.
Yeah,
midichlorians.
Because everybody has midichlorians.
So it's just another. I just like
it's whether or not you have enough to connect and
be sensitive.
To the,
It's and I like that kind of reminder that the midichlorian part they're in everybody.
And that's even actually a little more explained in the next series, next arc. But so that's this. So that's
that's it.
Basically,
it's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Good action.
It was it was very good.
Jar Jar had some cool moments.
Yeah. Mace had some great moments.
Yes.
They eventually go, like you said, go off planet and they travel to a nearby moon, I think, right?
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was pretty good. It was a good two-parter.
Yeah, 2 parts.
Perfect. 2 parts perfect. Yeah. So next week we will talk about and review the final arc, which it consists of 4 episodes. Technically, the one is kind of just a setup,
right,
to the last 3, which is the actual Yoda arc. But the first one is very important because it kind of sets it up. But so we'll talk about those last 4 episodes next week as we profile Master Sifo Dyas, who plays a vital role in not only episode 2 but also this last arc with Yoda. And by far the probably best arc of the entire Clone Wars series. I mean, I watched a little bit again today, and this is awesome.
It's just mythology.
Wow, it's so good.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, so what kind of news we got this week?
Not a whole lot. Still, just a lot of rumors. There are some interesting developments with Episode 7. One being it's been officially confirmed that it is in fact taking place 30 years after Episode 6. Episode 7 will be 30 years after Episode 6. And was it Bob Iger or some Disney person said this?
I think it was at WizardCon in Orlando last week. Yeah.
So they said that. I think there was some other little piece of news. I can't remember.
Just that they were starting to shoot.
Oh, in May.
In May.
Correct. Okay, yeah.
Those are the 2 confirmed.
Yeah. Shooting in
views.
May. It'll be 30 years after. So they're like, like just 2 weeks ago, I read rumors that no, actually, it's going to be 3 years after episode 6. It's like it's gonna. There's just It's so stupid. Like all these rumors are driving me nuts.
Yeah.
And there's more this week that I won't get into about casting, about characters and stuff like that. One, I'll say this one because it's just weird, which is fine if it's true, whatever. That Luke will have an adopted son in episode 7. He's going to have because there's rumored some actor for it. It's like, he's going to be Luke's adopted son. So it's just...
I'll buy it.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird stuff. But
what's crazy is that it is literally 31 years since episode 6 came out. So that's freaking
They're
ridiculous.
On it. They're the right age. And other little things that episode 7 will be released in IMAX. Won't be shot in IMAX, right?
No, I don't
It'll
think
just
so.
be it'll be
released in
converted
IMAX.
released in IMAX. That'll be cool. See it on
because you saw. Did you see Star Trek in IMAX?
No,
Oh,
I saw Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, but most of that was shot.
Yeah,
in
but you can tell when it isn't shot,
yes,
but projected.
yeah.
You see the bars.
But I think he's released. I think JJ's been releasing all his movies in IMAX. So
yeah,
I think
I didn't see it.
I haven't seen an IMAX movie.
They're pretty cool.
I think I saw episode 2. I did see episode 2. I think in IMAX. That was the only thing.
I saw Superman Returns in IMAX 3D.
Oh yeah. Did you see Man of Steel?
I don't think I saw it in IMAX.
IMAX.
No.
Yeah. I would definitely see Batman Superman.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So there's some rumors going around, but not much to talk about. But there's something coming tomorrow, or I guess if you whenever you listen to it, this Wednesday, the 25th. Or, sorry, maybe it's today. But this week, there's CinemaCon in Las Vegas, I believe is where that is. CinemaCon is where just a bunch of movie theater owners and marketing people go to get licensing and brandings of all these movies coming out. But Disney's going to be there, and they'll be talking about Marvel and talking about Lucasfilm titles. So they'll mention Star Wars in some degree, whether or not it's just saying, I don't know, I feel like we'll get a little bit of something. Because usually with CinemaCon, don't we get logos of movies? I feel like that's where they kind of release new logos. So we might get an Episode 7 logo. Although it won't be anything probably. Maybe the title. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that won't be released till Comic-Con or something.
I know. See, that's the thing about... I remember thinking back to... He always released... That's Lucas, though.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he always released the titles like right before the trailers hit.
Oh, yeah.
So... in like, for example, Episode 1, I remember it came out May of 99.
Mm-hmm.
We got the first trailer in November, and I want to say it was like September before the movie was released. So that's what, that's like 5, 6, 7, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the titles were released. Like it was weird because you would get the title first.
Yeah.
Then you actually would get the crawl.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And then you got the teaser, and then eventually you got a full trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the theme every movie. So Episode 2 came out in what, 2002. So at the end of 2001 is when you got the title first. I remember because Attack of the Clones came out. Everybody was like, what?
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones? And then you got the crawl.
Yeah.
And then you got the teaser, which was, at the time, that was the one that went, the teaser for Episode 2 was it was kind of the love theme thing. It was where Jedis cannot know anger nor hatred nor love kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a full trailer like first of the year around February, March before the movie came out in May. And now you only got one teaser, and then you got a ton of TV spots. Episode 1 had a ton of TV spots. And Episode 3 was the same way. So I don't know if they're going to go down that route, if they're going to wait until beginning of next year till we actually get, almost a year from now, do we actually get a title or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I it wouldn't be a far stretch to just see a Star Wars Episode 7 logo. I don't know if we'll get a title this year.
There was
especially Comic-Con.
There was some presumed leak. Episode 7.
I saw that.
That's stupid.
I know.
Debunked quickly.
Yeah,
but
it's no way.
Yeah. Anyways.
I think, though, because if the cameras roll in May,
mm-hmm.
Comic-Con is in July.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect to see anything but maybe a Abrams-type teaser trailer. That's, you know what I mean? Where it's very non-revealing, but very exciting.
Yeah, it's so
like the train crash, or the Statue of Liberty head.
Mm-hmm.
Something like we talked about. Just give me a shot of Luke with a freaking lightsaber.
That'd be cool.
That's it. That's all I need to see. That's all I need to see. I don't anticipate. I really don't anticipate see much until. So what? There's no what Disney movies? Do we know any Disney movies that are coming out in December?
Well, Guardians is coming out when?
Well, that's
November?
August.
December. I'm sure there's something.
I know. We'll see Lord of the Rings, but that's Warner Brothers.
There's got to be something.
There's got to be something. I would anticipate seeing a very good teaser trailer this Christmas, a year before the release. That's when I would. My opinion, you're going to see something. Because I remember that Cloverfield trailer, we got a year.
Mm-hmm.
Super 8 was a year. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
Heard it here.
But I don't remember too much about the marketing of Star Trek. I don't know
how...
But see, that's nowhere...
Remember, they had a teaser for that in front of Transformers.
Yes.
There's just the ship. It was just
That was
the
awesome.
Enterprise. Yeah.
With Spock's voice.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was awesome. So that was a year?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Those
So-
Transformers that came out. That was in
That was in July.
I think it was
and then I think Star Trek was like May.
also
So almost a year.
but it's cool.
But that's the theme. That's been kind of the JJ theme.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would anticipate that.
Sweet. Yeah, there's one more little piece of sort of news where Pablo Hidalgo, who's part of Story Group, who's now deleted his Twitter account, but before he did, he sent out a tweet saying about the canon that so far everything in Star Wars canon is only what is presented on screen. So that's the movies and Clone Wars. That's it.
Yes.
That's official canon. So, which includes a lot. So at this point, nothing is officially canon. So like Force Unleashed video games, probably not canon because apparently Sam Witwer even went into audition for Episode 7. Or no, sorry, he was going to audition for Episode 7, but then he said the character he was auditioning for had been changed because of the rewrites. So they didn't need him anymore.
Wow.
So he was going to audition because apparently they wanted him to. Now, that just tells me that Force Unleashed is
probably non-canon.
It's not canon anymore. And mostly everything else up to this point is mostly going to be non-canon until the Story Group can figure out what's going on. But from here on out, there's some canon stuff.
Yeah, but we do have to point out that they have said that basically anything published from now on will be canon because they're including that and reviewing that.
Right.
For example, the Darth Maul comic, Clone Wars comic that is coming out, that is canon. There's some novels coming out that apparently are going to be canon. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this the other day. Like, I'm so glad I didn't go back and read all this EU stuff. Because now I could actually look forward to reading stuff that is officially canon. Yeah. I hope what would be cool? They probably thought about this, but I hope they come up with some kind of continuity logo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is stamped on a book or a comic.
That'd be cool.
That okay, that logo is there. That means this is officially canon.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I really think that they should, if they haven't thought about that, then, you can steal my idea if you want, guys. But that's, I would definitely include something like that. Just so that us readers or us gamers, we just know that when we dive into this, it's not EU stuff or non-canon stuff. It's actually part of the Star Wars universe. So.
That'd be cool. It's just something.
How do I do that? How do I get that to them?
Well, listen to us. Listen to the show.
Leland, what's his name? Leland Chi. Yeah.
Tweet him.
We need to get to him. We need to get him on the show. Period.
Oh gosh, that'd be cool.
Did you mention about Mark Hamill?
No.
He's making his debut this year at Star Wars Weekends.
Mm-hmm.
At down at Disney.
I'm glad that's getting bigger.
And it's going to be.
I've been there. I went there one time for Star Wars Weekends.
Well, they expanded it, didn't they? This not just May this year. I think it's May, June, and
oh really?
Yeah, I think it's like 8 weeks now or something like that.
Dang,
it's ridiculous.
But before it was just they had more characters walking around. And they had some celebrities, but now it's getting really huge.
It's getting big. And it's going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
He will be there June. It says he will be there June 6th through the 8th.
Cool.
So Star Wars Weekends, go check him out.
All right,
in Orlando.
Sweet.
And then one last thing for you March Madness people. If you go to StarWars.com, they got their second annual This Is Madness tournament going on. Have you been to this yet?
No, not this year. I haven't.
Oh, man. It's awesome. It's pitting light side. They basically there's a dark side tournament going on and a light side tournament going on, and then they meet in the end. And I'll give you a rundown real fast of the characters right now.
I feel like it would be the same winner every year.
Well, Yoda won last year.
Oh yeah.
So I anticipate he's going to win again this year, to be honest. But right now, so it was pretty cool because on the light side they separated into four groups of 4. They had the Rebels, which was R2, Wedge, Leia, and Akbar. They had Jedi, Yoda, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Luke. They had Scoundrels, Chewbacca, Lando, Han, and Hondo.
Cool.
The
Clone was
the
a
pirate.
Weequay.
Yeah.
Was he Weequay?
Yes, he was a Weequay. And then you have Republic. You had Padme, Bail Organa, Captain Rex, and then you had Fives. ARC Trooper Fives.
I'm fives.
Fives. So right now, you can vote. Every day they have 2 matchups going, a light side matchup and a dark side matchup. You go there and vote. Right now, R2 has made it to the second round. He beat Wedge. Princess Leia beat Akbar. Yoda beat Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan beat Luke. Chewbacca has beaten Lando. Padme has beaten Bail Organa. Right now, you can vote on Han Solo and Hondo. Well, right now is, relevant because you're probably not listening to this next day. Now, on the dark side, again, 4 groups of 4. You had the Empire and Separatists. You had Tarkin going against Admiral Piet. Tarkin won that one. You had Asajj Ventress against Grievous. Grievous has won that one.
Ooh.
You have Bounty Hunters. You have Boba and Greedo. Boba Fett, obviously, won that one. You had Cad Bane against Jango, and Jango won that one. You had Vader versus Maul in the Sith. Vader easily won that one. Right now, the voting is Palpatine against Dooku. And then on the Underworld portion, you have Jabba against Salacious Crumb. Jabba won that one, obviously. And then you have Mother Talzin, actually, and then Pre-Vizsla. And that one is tomorrow, which is probably going on now if you listen to us the day we come out. So that's that. So basically, yeah, those are the matchups. You go there, vote. It's all fan run, and it gets to the end. The light side champion will go square off against the dark side champion, and that is your winner. And Yoda won this thing last year. I think he went against Vader, which I see that probably being the exact same thing. It's not always the same characters because I think some of these are different. Like like Hondo and Mother Talzin and all I don't think any of those Clone Wars people were technically. I think Cad Bane might have been, but anyway, it's a pretty cool thing they do during March Madness, with all the basketball stuff going on. So, all right. Anything else?
Nope.
Before we get into trivia, I think the only thing I'll mention is finally, if you're playing Star Wars the card game, we're getting a brand new Force pack coming out this week. Our website, our Star Wars TCG podcast will be out, if not this weekend, early next week, where we will do a full review of the cards that are getting released in that. So looking forward to that. I've been dying for a new pack. We haven't had a new pack since August.
Yeah. That's great.
So, all right, pick a number. Yeah, it's been a long time. Pick a number for this episode 2. I just turned to this page here. Pick between 801 to 816.
810.
810. Okay, here we go. 810.
Come on, baby snakes. Let's do this.
8. Let me type in 10.
So this book would have to change with like all the canon.
Correct.
Maybe? Yeah.
810. How did Amidala get free of her shackles in the execution arena on Geonosis?
Great.
Did we? I feel like we answered this one, or did we already do this one?
I don't think so. We should be writing down the numbers.
I know.
Doing.
Yeah, totally. Well, we were doing them randomly.
Yeah.
So it was doing it itself, but
I don't think we've done this.
Okay. So A, she picked the lock. B, the acolyte cut them. C, a Jedi cut them. Or D, a laser blast cut through them.
How did she get through her shackles? How
did Amidala get free of her shackles in the execution arena on Geonosis?
She picked them.
She picked them. That's definitely the answer.
With a little bobby pin in her hair.
Yep. She somehow picked them.
Good. At least I got something right.
You got them right.
Yeah.
So that will move my record to 33-19. Casey's now 28-24. So very good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, man.
Very good.
Very good, man.
Yeah. You're a very good man.
All right, so that'll do it for us. We are at Inside the Force on Twitter. Follow us there. Go to our website, InsideTheForce.com. You can listen to all the shows right there. Subscribe to us on on iTunes. We are also on Stitcher Radio and TuneIn Radio apps on your iPhone and Android's platforms. We are. You can send us questions and comments at info@insidetheforce.com or just tweet us. Casey is Kryptonian1138. I am DCottingham21. Got some great banners and stuff on our website, so you can check those out for some great Star Wars stuff. Go to 21network.com for all of our shows, including a brand new show coming out from Casey and Corey Cooley.
It's like Christmas.
The Cool Times Show.
Cool Times Show.
Well, I'm sure we'll dive into some Star Wars stuff.
Oh, yeah.
At times. But the brothers are getting their own show coming. Yep. Check that out on iTunes as well, the Cool Times Show. And then one last thing, we still have the Yoda signed figure from Tom Kane. If you want that thing, just send us a tweet or email us. Tweet us at Inside the Force. info@insidetheforce.com is the email address. So send us that. We'll kind of release that to the winner after the end of the month. So you got another week to do that. Again, a 2002 Yoda figure signed by Tom Kane, the voice of Yoda, from next week's series arc that we're going to talk about. All right. So for Casey Cooley,
I am honored to accept this heavy burden. I take on this responsibility with deep humility. And yeah, that's horrible Jar Jar impression. But, yeah, cool line. Then Padme rudely cuts him off.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
she does.
Jar Jar. Okay.
I'm sure you have a lot to do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But, okay. I can take a hint.
Yeah. I'll just go and do something stupid like give Chancellor emergency powers.
Correct. Yeah. That's all Jar Jar. That's, yeah. Hey, to be all honest, I don't really have a problem with Jar Jar.
I don't.
I mean, he's for the kids.
Yeah.
Kids love him. My daughter loves him. Yeah. So, I mean, come on. Come on, man. All right. That'll do it. Tune in next week as we finish up episode 2 month, and then we will dive into episode 3 month after that. That'll wrap up the whole movie thing.
Whoa.
God, 6 months.
Whoa.
Flew by. And what's coming up? Countdown to May the 4th. Yeah. Which is the same weekend. It seems like it's the same weekend every weekend as Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah. First Saturday, whatever.
Yeah.
It seems like, yeah.
Well, Free Comic Book Day is the 3rd, so the 4th this year is on a Sunday. Because Free Comic Book Day and the 4th were the same last year.
Yeah. Okay.
So the 4th is a Sunday this year. So we will be doing a video again this year.
Oh, we got to get on that.
Yeah, so we will be we'll be talking about that here in the coming month. So, all right, guys. Appreciate it for listening. Again, we are Inside the Force. Check us out next week. For Casey.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm David Cottingham, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.